Who among us has not fallen asleep on a hot summer afternoon? Sir Frederic Leighton's 1895 painting, Flaming June, gives us such a moment. And no, June is not her name. Her name is probably Dorothy, Dorothy Dene, the most visually similar face among those models Leighton used in the 1890s. At a time when his contemporaries were dabbling in Impressionism, Leighton executes this classically rendered, beautifully composed vignette of a midday rest in the heat of the month of June, Flaming June. A huge work of 1.2 metres, around 4 feet square, with his subject occupying a large percentage of the canvas, the most immediately striking component is the saffron or yellow-orange of her sheer clothing, followed by her slightly disturbed, slightly flushed face as the midday heat takes its toll. The posing of the figure, filling a square canvas with a person, is unexpected. We often see figures in paintings standing or sitting or involved in some kind of action. There are fewer sleeping figures in paintings, and even fewer shown at this angle. Michelangelo played with sculpting a figure within a cube's dimensions. Later, Picasso painted the Old Guitarist, where it appears he fits an old man within his frame. No doubt it was the other way round. Of course, Leonardo da Vinci loved fitting figures into geometric forms, demonstrating his thirst for understanding as much as his artistic genius. Michelangelo, again, sculpted Night, considered to be an inspiration for Leighton, who thought it was magnificent. Leighton was 65 when he painted Flaming June and would die only months later, reminding all artists to not put off your work. As by far his most famous painting, a culmination of his life's work, he would be lesser known today had he given in to procrastination. If you've ever tried to paint someone from life, you would know that getting those proportions right, creating a real human being on canvas, is difficult. By choosing this angle, Leighton is almost showing off. The work is a tour de force of correct but difficult proportions, culminating in her backward-facing left arm, which could so easily have become an awkward lump on the canvas, but is instead executed just so, with nothing jarring and nothing missing. In Leighton's classicist style, we see no hint of brushwork, just perfect smooth blending. Her face, always a focus of attention when figures are painted, is so smoothly graduated, the flush of her cheeks so subtly executed, that we are not drawn at all to the expertise of the artist, but to contemplation of her instead. A triumph for any artist. And here she lies sleeping, behind her a strong sun reflecting brightly off the water, the sky full of midday haze. To the right, a sprig of oleander, a poisonous plant, thought by some to symbolise a link between sleep and death. Maybe, this seems a little forced, but then again, if you've ever fallen asleep on a hot afternoon, you do feel like death when you wake up. As well as using flaming in the title, Leighton has created the yellow-orange nightwear as almost like fire, emphasising the heat. He has also worked in the other elements, the earth of the beautifully executed marble, the water of the sunlit sea, and the air that sits in its midday haze over her head. Earlier works, in chronological order, lead us towards Flaming June. Here in 1881, Idyll, a classic theme. Leighton provides similar languid women, the setting sun calling us to relax and contemplate life. In Cymon and Iphigenia from 1884, we have another sleeping woman in orange nightwear, not as its natural colour, but in response to the sun's light as it sits just on the horizon. And from 1888 we see captive Andromache, the woman with the large jug wearing a same-coloured gown as Flaming June. That colour, that saffron yellow-orange, is surely the first item to draw our attention, and probably what makes the painting so arresting. It could so easily have been overdone, but stops us just enough so that we look to her face and the sparkling water behind her. The classicist style focuses on technical perfection, usually uplifting or dramatic subject matter, and strong composition. Flaming June gives us a little more, I think. She is real and she is asleep. It's almost as if we have wandered into her space uninvited and, blushing ourselves, we should back out. She effortlessly fills the canvas with her beauty as she rests in the midday sun of Flaming June. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press like. If you want to be notified when I put out more reactions to great art, please subscribe. See you next time.